Hey everybody, welcome to live Q&A. I'm Michael Dunham, founder of XMD Academy. Today we'll be talking with Ashley Sparling from Ubisoft.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
We're going to be talking about how he became an artist and what knowledge he'll take away from his 10-week course. You can check it out on xmdacademy.com, more information about the course. XMD Academy, we have courses for anyone that may be trying to break into the industry for their first job, any art students, anyone trying to improve your skills as an industry professional, with some learning new tips and tricks, or anybody just doing it for a hobby. So we'll be taking questions from anyone watching. You can post your questions in the chat. We're live streaming on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Zoom. So welcome, Ashley. Thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me again. Cool.
So can you tell everyone what your job title is?
So I'm currently a lead character artist over at Ubisoft, working on the new Gods and Monsters. So that was released at the E3 trailer, which will be coming out in February. Which is pretty cool. So it's something completely different that what we did last time from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So we've gone from like a more realistic looking game to a stylized game, which has been good. Has been a challenge as well. So like going from realistic to stylized in a very, very short space of time. So it's like getting everybody up to speed and the team up to speed. We're doing stylized stuff. So as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see my screen. I'm just doing a stylized piece, just a personal project. So, but yeah, so that's me. That's my job title. That's my job. So, but yeah, you have to forgive me. I might suddenly randomly start singing or doing stupid voices or something like that.
Oh,
just to make sure that you're awake.
Sing away.
So, cool.
So how many years have you been in the industry?
So I've been in the industry. This is like my 11th year now. So I feel like I'm getting old now. Once you get past that 10-year mark, it's like, oh, okay, I'm getting old in this industry now. Considering the industry isn't like I mean, I think we've got like about 25 years of games and stuff. So it's kind of like, I wonder what I'll be doing when it comes to retirement. So will I still be in the industry or not? But yeah, no, I've been in the industry for about 11 years, and so I've worked not just on games. I've done stuff for advertisements and shop window displays and 3D printing. So it's not just games that I've done. So I've kind of tried to do a little bit in the whole creative industry. So which is cool.
Do you remember what sparked your interest in becoming an artist?
Yeah, so I mean, I've always like academically, I was very bad at school. Like I couldn't read, I couldn't spell, couldn't do maths. Like, just like for me, school was like very, very difficult. And the best way that I could like show myself and express myself was like kind of doing arts and like even theatre. I used to do a lot of theatre like professionally as well. So
nice.
So you might find somewhere on the internet some like crazy pictures of me. Mike's gonna start looking now.
Oh yeah,
dressed up and things like that. So like yeah, we did like Little Shop of Horrors. I was like Seymour from that. Had to do an American accent and yeah, sing. It's quite a big singing part. So but you guys don't want to hear about that part. You guys want to hear the other side. So
I don't know. I kind of want to hear the American accent.
No, I'm not doing it. Oh, look, I'm going red now. Just talking about that. That's a different lifetime ago. That was like 15 years ago, man. So, but yeah, no, I kind of like always like doing art, and my dad was was very arty and crafty. You know, he would do a lot of woodwork. He was like a trained carpenter. So I kind of took it from him really, which is really cool. It's like probably like the best gift that he could have ever given me, like showing me how to draw and paint and stuff. So I've always wanted to. I started because of the whole theatre thing. Actually, I kind of was like, actually, I really like the whole prosthetic makeup and stuff like that. So every time we did a show, I would do my own makeup, and we did. I don't know if do you guys know what a pantomime is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like the first part I ever got was in a pantomime, and I played a villain. I played like uh, a troll or an ogre or something, and I had to have like all this prosthetic makeup on my face, and so like the makeup artists were doing it the first time, and then I was like, oh, can I, like by the end of the show, I was like, oh, can I do it? And they were like, yeah, sure. So I was like putting all like the prosthetic makeup on myself, and like instantly like fell in love with doing like prosthetic makeup and stuff. So then I was like trying to teach myself how to do makeup and things like that. And I went to college. I did like a fine art in college, which was absolutely terrible. Like it was like I really wanted to do like drawing and like makeup and sculpture and stuff like that. And I remember the art teacher like saying to me, "Oh, what do you want to do for your like final project?" And I was like, I really want to get into doing like life drawing and life sculpting and stuff like that. She was like, no, 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 that won't help you in the real world. And here's some cardboard and pasta. I'll be like, so how's this gonna help me in the real world? Like, so in the end, I kind of like I did like what was it? I did like this mirror, and I was like doing like all masks and stuff, and like you could like a cutout of card, like you put your head in, and like you had like all these different hanging masks and things, and she hated it, but it was the only way that I could like adapt to what I wanted to do. So I was like thinking, okay, fine art isn't for me. My brain isn't a fine artist. So in the end, I was like, you know what, I'll go into doing graphics. So I started doing graphic design, and I found that was actually graphic design kind of started to get me into the 3D world. So I started to play with DAZ and do you remember Bryce?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love that program. I was like, oh yeah, I can make all these mountains and like rivers, but it was like kind of, and like you could like import your models into from DAZ to Bryce. But I was like, oh, this is cool. But and then what I used to do is like I used to put my image there, and then like I used to like draw over the top in Photoshop. So like doing Spider-Man or Batman or something like that. But I was getting to the point where I was like kind of like I was also like downloading like skins and stuff like Predator and things like that. I was getting to the point where it's just like, oh, I really want to actually make 3D stuff. I actually really wanted to like give it a go and make my own stuff. So my brother-in-law, his brother owned his own graphic design company. I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, oh, have you ever heard of Maya? I was like, oh, I have heard of it, but I was like, I can't afford that. It was like ridiculous amounts of money.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, here you go. and just gave me a full copy of Maya. He was like, oh, we've got it in the office, but we don't use it. So I was like, holy moly, like, like how much this software was. So then I started to
like
try
winning
and
the
like,
lottery.
yeah, basically. So I started buying all these books on how to use Maya and things like that, and like was trying to create something, but I thought at the time it looked amazing, but if I look back at it now, it probably wasn't. And plus, like you didn't back then. I think you had like CG Talk and 3D Total and stuff, but if you don't know where you're looking for those things, you like back then. This is like, oh, how long ago was this?
Yeah, and if you were in Unreal, you had like Buzz 3D.
Yeah,
that was about
yeah. Yeah, I would say it's like about like 15, 20 years ago, maybe, like, no, maybe not 20 years ago. Oh, I can't even remember now. Life goes so quick. So I started doing this stuff and was really getting into it. And then suddenly, I never thought about going to university or anything like that. I was like, for me, only clever people went to university. And suddenly, like, my dad got this letter in the post, and it was like, oh, uh, come do animation at University of Hertfordshire. And Dad was like, why the heck did I get sent this? Like, and I saw the letter on the table, and I was like, animation? Like, oh my God, like, I didn't know you could even do this at university. So, and my parents said, you might, like, we can give it a go, but like, university is for people like who can spell and read and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they even though they said that, they were really supportive and said, like, if you want to do it, like, we'll try and do everything that we can. Like, they helped me do all, like, my application forms and stuff. So, and then I started applying for different universities, and I was like, okay, cool, like, oh my God, like, we're actually doing it. So I went to one of the, because I was actually, then I started to look into universities more and saw you could do special effects makeup, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, like, I can actually do what I wanted to do. So we went to the uni for like an open day thing, and I started talking to the special effects guy, and he was like, you know what, the industry is kind of going a different way, like, it's kind of going more like digital. And he was like, I would really recommend you trying to get into the digital world. And I was like, okay. So he took me over to the tutor there, and I started talking to them, and it was for the animation group. So in the end, I ended up going to Hertfordshire University. I looked at like loads of different universities and decided, Hertfordshire was the one for me. And so I started doing animation, and the course was split up into, there was like 3 different divisions of the course, and you picked which one. I wanted to do animation because I thought I was going to be the next Tim Burton as well at that point. so I started to do the animation side, and then for one of the sections of the course, we had had the art director from Sony teaching his course, which was games art. And so we were doing like character. I've always been interested in characters and things like that. So I decided that I would, okay, let's let's do this character thing and like do it. And we did the thing. I did this like man bat creature, and he was teaching us and guiding us. And at the end of like the assignment, he pulled me over to the side, and he was like, hey, have you ever thought about coming into games? And I was like, well, I'm not really technical, and he was like, you don't, I'm not technical, I'm an artist. He was like, because I really think your characters are really suited for games. I was like, oh wow, okay. Oh my God, what was that?
Ignore that.
Okay. So I decided, like, okay, like, I was spoken to my parents, my friends, and I was like, you know what? If the art director of Sony is telling me to go into games, I think I better take his advice and go into games. So I was like super excited. The second year I was going to carry on and go into games. So he was like kind of like my mentor in a way, and he was like always giving me feedback, and he was just an honest guy. He wouldn't say, oh, it looked good for the sake of it. If you didn't look good, he would tell you it didn't look good, and like, here, have you tried this? So I felt like that first year he kind of like really like taught me like the fundamentals of like anatomy, and he drilled in my brain like how important anatomy is, and design and stuff like that. So coming close to the second year of uni, I was so excited and was going to do this the rest of my 2 years with this guy. And then he sent me an email saying, hey, I'm not going to be taking the second year anymore. I'm going back to Sony. Like, man, I was so upset. I was like, I was like really really upset that he decided this. But it's up to him if he felt that that's his calling, then that's his calling. But yeah, I was upset. I remember crying about it and everything. so so anyway, we continued going to university, and like we got a new lecture. After having the first lecture, the second lecture wasn't the same, and so I felt like I was kind of like teaching myself a little bit, because I didn't feel advanced, but I felt what I'd been learning beforehand was a little bit more advanced than what what we were then doing. It was like, oh, make a fish, oh, make a brick. But we were like beforehand, like we were doing like characters and like animation and like learning about lighting and stuff like that. So it kind of, for me, it kind of like went a little bit downhill. So anyway, it came to end of university, and then it was like job time. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Got my portfolio, started applying for like every single company out there but I guess if you didn't know, I'm from the UK. My accent kind of gives it away a little. Not Australian, from the UK. so I literally applied for every single company, like in the UK. Well, I say every single company. There were companies that I wouldn't go near, because it was kind of in my head. It was like, they're not going to take me. Yeah. Why bother? And those places were so Rocksteady, Rockstar, and Rare.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys who done Donkey Kong. So there was a few other places, and so applied, blah blah blah, and I could see like all of my friends around me getting jobs, and I was like, man, I'm crap. I'm really rubbish. Like, everybody around me is getting jobs. I'm not getting anything. And I was like, I don't want to work at McDonald's forever.
Yeah.
so I decided, like, you know what? I want to still be in it. I'm going to go and do an MA. So I signed up for the MA, started it, moved back to halls, and it was like 3 weeks of starting the MA. I suddenly got this email, and it was from Rare, the place that I didn't apply for. And they were like, hey, we've seen some of your stuff. Somebody had your business card, and, we really like your stuff. Come in for a chat. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like the place that I would really, really want to work for, that I didn't apply for, has contacted me. So I went there and I had my interview, and it didn't feel like an interview at all. It just felt like I was talking to friends, and it was really 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 cool, and they offered me the job pretty much on the spot. So where I was living in the UK to where Rare was, it was literally like 8 to 9 hour drive.
Oh wow.
So I had to like literally leave home completely and go and live in a place where I'd never been before. I didn't have any friends, first time living alone, so having to deal with bills and stuff like that. And it was really scary, but like the guys at Rare were awesome. I learned so much for them. We started off doing like Xbox avatars.
Oh yeah.
So we were like literally working, I think the most texture space that I had was like a 256. And when I saw a 256, I was like, oh my god. Like, it was like mainly like working with like 64 bits and 128. So this is not K, by the way, people. This is like 128 like textures squared. Like this is like before Substance and things like that. Literally, we were like hand painting textures. So, and we weren't even allowed to use ZBrush. Like, so did I say it right, Mike? ZBrush.
Yes.
Yeah, did I say it right?
You left off the ed.
Yeah, ZBrush. Like, so like, I learned a lot about like texturing there and optimizing models, because I think like it was about 3K I think we had for the characters, so they weren't much at all. Like, and like, we were doing a lot of like replicas of like games that were being out at the time, so like Halo, and we did stuff for Adidas and Nike and Batman and things like that. So it's really, really cool to do all of these different brands and stuff. And I got to do some concept art as well, which was really, really cool. So yeah, that is how I got into the industry. That's like a very chopped version. I didn't want to bore everybody, so.
What? So now you work at Ubisoft.
Now I work there. Yep.
And
been here
Quebec City.
3 years. Oh, sorry.
In Quebec City.
Yes, in Quebec. So it's a lot of people don't realize that like Quebec as a province has Montreal and Quebec City. Yeah. So it's one of the things that I actually didn't know when I was coming here, because when they contacted me, I was like, oh yeah, Montreal. And they were like, oh no, we're Quebec City. I was like, oh, okay. So it's very, very, it's like, well, in Canada as a whole, they've got loads of little studios now, which is really cool. Yeah. So if you ever got to Ubisoft and you decide, you know what, I want to go to Halifax, you could get a transfer to Halifax. Or, you know what, this year I want to go to Toronto. It's really cool that you can have the choice, and it's like one big massive corporate family. So cool. Everybody is like entwined with each other, which is cool. So
what would you, so you're a senior lead at Ubisoft. Yeah. So what would you say is a day in the life of one of your team members, as you being their lead?
Okay, so normally, like when we start a project, like, oh, okay, a day in the life. So normally when we all get in the morning, we all have a coffee with each other, because everyone's normally pretty tired. So we party loads here. No, we don't. We don't. So normally, depending like what time people get in, we normally do like a stand up. So, or a scrum or something like that. So basically we come together as a team and we say, okay, what we're working on. So like there's normally 3 things. So what you're working on, what did you work on, what you're working on, and do you have anything blocking you? So normally like something blocking you, like, oh, my ZBrush doesn't work, or, oh, I can't export to the engine. So normally that's my job to like kind of work out what the problem is and go to the correct people to do that. Yeah. So then after that, then we kind of like separating, the team goes and works on what they're normally working on. So whether it's so at Ubisoft we kind of do everything, so all the way from like high poly sculpting to low poly UVs. We use Substance Painter to do all of our texture work. And then after we built everything, we send it over to the riggers. So we don't rig and skin any of our stuff, and they integrate it into the game as well. Okay. So normally, we normally finish around about, for our working day, depending what time you get in. People normally get in about 8:30 and then finish about 4:30, 5 o'clock time. So there might be some like meetings in the day. Normally, if we, like, for example, if we have a new character, we do like a kickoff meeting. So we get everybody involved in that character. So effects, animation, rigging. We have the art directors. We've got our PMs there, and I'm there, and the character artist that's going to work on the project. So then we like come together. We look over the concepts and like decide like, oh, you know, we can do this bit, we can't do that bit, and oh, is this part going to be difficult? Well, yes, if you're using about 20 tentacles, yes, it's going to be difficult. So, but yeah, and then normally we like have like a little review of the project, and then the like my character artist is the first one to start off after we've received the concept. So they start off by doing a block out. So this is something that I've kind of like enforced a little bit more, because how short the project is, we needed a way for animation to kind of get something quick, and the rigging scenes get something to quick. So literally can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so a block out is basically a block out. So, if I turn this on, you can guys see like all of these parts are separated parts.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of what we would give as a block out. To be honest, this is a little bit more refined of what a block out is, but we would then send this over, and it will be, I wonder actually if I've got. Let's get this one. Here we go. So this is kind of like the level of detail that we would go for the block out. So if I, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just make sure that we've got all of our silhouettes basically for the character, and then we can send that over to the riggers to actually start rigging.
Yeah.
Now, then we start working on doing the details. So then we start getting it to a bit more this point with our clothes on and whatever creature we're making at the time.
Yeah.
So I don't get to do much artwork anymore, because I'm mainly managing the team. I'm doing scheduling. I'm giving everybody their tasks, and I deal with because of this project, we are dealing with outsourcers. So I'm kind of in charge of the outsourcers now, giving feedback. We try to each week we try to do like a week of one day to do feedback. So we all come together as a team, and we all show each other's work, and we all give feedback to each other. It's really quite cool, because it's, even though I'm the lead and giving feedback all the time, it might be something that I've missed, or something that we can't do those type of teeth for example, because the rig won't allow us to, or something like that.
Yeah.
And normally the riggers are in the reviews with us as well, which is kind of cool. So
now
yeah.
you are giving a course at XMD Academy.
Yes, I am.
AAA Salon Game Hair Creation.
Yes.
So what? Give us a little bit of a rundown of what you're going to teach in this course.
Okay, so for the course, we will obviously we're going to be making hair, but I didn't want to just make, oh yeah, this is how you do this type of hair. I go very quite in depth of the theory of hair, so you can actually make any hairstyle that you want. So I've created a thing called the wig theory, which is basically looking at traditional wig making to help you place like your hair planes. I find that this is one of the big problems that I've had, that students had, like more people in the industry has had. So I wanted to try and think of a way that we could kind of stop like this whole, where do we place the hair cards, so it's kind of like a template that we can all follow. So yeah, so that is basically like the main core of the course, is using these templates. And the templates work for like beards, eyebrows, it's not just hair. So, and these templates will also work with animal fur as well, which in the course we cover doing normal hair, we do eyebrows, we do eyelashes, we do beards, we do animal fur. So it's not just one section that we're doing. So you get a whole everything basically to do with hair. We don't do body hair. So sorry guys. So no body hair.
Yeah, I don't think we're quite there yet in the industry, but it's close.
Yeah, we could, perhaps eventually it'll be like a bonus, like, how do we do body hair?
Yeah. So what knowledge, like main piece of knowledge, would you want your students to walk away with from the course?
So I want them to kind of walk away with the confidence of being able to being given any like concept for hairstyle, that they would have the confidence to kind of know what to do and to how to actually do it as well. Because even though it's a technical thing, but I don't like to think of it as a technical thing. We need to like bring the artistry back into it. So it's I know a lot of people have struggled with it, and I want people to come away with, okay, I know how to do hair now. I've got the confidence to do hair.
Mm-hmm.
So, and to actually have fun with it, because the way that we do it, I like we do it on the course. It's kind of bringing. I find it's bringing the fun back into creating hair, and it's kind of doing it in a sculpturally way, even though we're using Maya and XGen and all of these things. It's kind of I find it a lot of fun.
It's not just the tedious process of placing cards and rotating and here's card, here's card, here's card.
Yeah, we're actually doing it using like a spline base, so you can actually like comb the hair in a way. So yeah, so that's what I would like people to come away with mainly, is like the confidence and being able to know that they can create any hairstyle with these tools, basically.
Awesome. So as far as your course, I'll bring that up real quick. We have a few more minutes.
Okay.
Let's see. Share. Right. So your. Alright, can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay. So your course is how many weeks you got? You got 10 weeks. We're gonna have a catch-up week in the middle where if anybody falls behind, they can get caught back up. We'll have a live session that week, but there's no lecture. Pretty much we're gearing XMD Academy towards anyone. If you're already in the industry, if you're a student, if you're just learning, there's a little bit of something in there for everyone. And your course, what skill level would you say that you're geared more towards?
I mean, it's I kind of, for somebody to at least know the basics, so to actually have an understanding of how to use ZBrush, how to use Maya, but I do literally go through every single step. So I don't say, oh, this is how you sculpt a cube and like stuff like that. It is very much like, okay, we'll have a base mesh already done, and you guys will start creating from that. So it's you don't have to be advanced or anything like that, so or intermediate. If you are a beginner and you kind of have an understanding of the software, how to navigate through the software, you'd be fine on the course. So
so you have a free preview. You have a hair template and hair texture that everyone can sign up and take for free and check out the course. We have about 12 hours, I believe, give or take, before registration ends. So anyone that is on the cusp of deciding whether they want to take the course, whether they signed up for the on-demand, which you have signed up for on-demand, we do have an upgrade that you can do. I'll send out an email to everyone for that. But the people that are kind of on the edge, what would you say to them to get them to sign up today?
Do it. No, honestly, if you really have had problems with creating hair and stuff in the past, and I know I have, and it's, if you're not shown how to do it, like you can read, like I was the same, where I was like trying to find stuff on like poly counts and stuff like that, But I think having like the live sessions and having somebody to actually mentor you through this, I think it would like really help. Like I've run this course before, and the students that I had before, I was super impressed with the results that they had, and they really enjoyed receiving the feedback and things, because like each week I'll give everybody feedback and I'll sit down. It's like, even though we're in a group, it's kind of like a one-on-one, so you guys can ask questions and I'll draw paint overs, and if you guys have problems with your scenes, I can take your scenes, and we can really like work through it. I'm going to be there to make sure you guys get the best results that you can possible. So, and to be able to continue getting the best results possible, that is like the key thing. Because I don't want this is not a course where it's kind of like, oh yeah, we're just going to get one portfolio piece out of this, and then when you come to do it again, you won't be able to. It's because of like, we'll keep going over like certain things. It will really be like drilled into your brains, basically, to okay, I know how to do this. I can literally go into work tomorrow, or start a job doing hair, and I can do this. So that is like the main thing I want people to take away from this, and for people to understand that as well. It's not just like a quick, oh yeah, it's just a hair course. It's you really are going to be taking away the knowledge of how to do hair. So, and probably better than any of your other colleagues out there, because I've never seen this anywhere. I was looking for something like this. I've done hair courses in the past as well, to like try and get my knowledge better, but it just didn't give me enough groundwork to actually to be able to have the confidence to go out and do any hairstyle. So yeah.
So after I take this course with you, you're going to hire me at Ubisoft, right?
Let's give it a go. Let's see how your work comes out. So,
all right. Well, let's see.
I'm not promising that you'll get a job out of this at all, but I've had my students, like, after doing the course, have had interviews at like CD Projekt and stuff like that. I'm not trying to blow my trumpet or anything here, but it's the truth. There have been people who have gone for interviews after this. So,
all right. Well, let's see if we got any more questions. If anyone wants to check out the course, I've thrown the link into the chats, and it's xmdacademy.com. And as far as the live sessions, you're going to gear those more towards where everybody is in your class. We'll figure out times and everything once we've launched. Make sure people can adjust their schedules or find the right time for that'll be good for everyone. So I had a couple of questions about that.
Yeah, so it's all depending on who's going to be on the live course. We'll make it good for everybody.
Yeah. All right, well, that sounds good. And anyone that's signed up for the on-demand already, I'll be in touch with you. If you want to upgrade, I'll talk to you after this. I think you'll really benefit from doing it live over the on-demand, because you have the total interaction with Ashley. You'll get, I wouldn't say 24/7, but 23/7.
I need to sleep at some point. But, I'm always open to helping people. Like, if you've got a problem, I'm always there. So when I'm not sleeping.
Sounds good, man.
It's important.
Well, we do have the live cam that's going to watch you while you're sleeping too. So.
Oh, okay. I'll tell my wife about that.
Sure, she won't have a problem.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming to this, Ashley. Your course is going to be amazing for anyone. And if anyone wants to find out more, you can get in touch with me or Ashley after this. We'd be happy to answer any questions. You can find us anywhere. We're all over the place. At mdunham.com, mdunham@gmail.com. You can contact me personally. But yeah, so thank you very much for coming, and thank everyone for watching. And XMDacademy.com, AAA Salon Game Hair Creation with Ashley Sparling. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right, now you're going to sing, right?
No.